Okay, fingers crossed that should be working now. Are we good? I think we're good. I seem to have a little bit of an issue there to start with, but I think it's working now. Fingers crossed. Let me just do something first. Okay, right. I think we're golden. Everything seems to be working this time. Apparently restarting my OBS seems to have worked, so hopefully that'll be all the problems we have. Anyway. Let me just check something. Okay. Fingers crossed. We're good now, so... Okay, so maybe going for metal wasn't a good idea. I really don't understand how this stuff works, not gonna lie. I forgot that he can only miss when he's above 300 charges. Which is kind of annoying, because it means I can't actually build thing up against him. Okay, now I can. Right, now I can use the special plate. Okay, it's saying that the stream is working fine now, so hopefully people will be able to refresh. I had to basically close OBS and then try again, and that seems to have worked, but it did completely reset the stream, so I think it's put it under a new video as well, so the link that I posted in the chat is not going to work now, but oh well. But yeah, so I don't know how to do this game mode. Like, I've basically been trying to kind of go for the middle ground and try and get all of the earths or the metals, because I feel like going for fire doesn't give you enough points, but going for wood is just a waste of time unless you get really stupidly lucky. See, that's a lot better. So now I'm guaranteed to get 3 metals, so I'm safe to just try and go for... I don't think it really matters who you use in these, to be honest. I know the blue marble. Oh, I just realised I got the miss one, which means she's now going to evade every single time she misses. That's actually really annoying. I got like the worst possible hack I could get for this. Yeah, every time I try to hit her, she's gonna evade me. Right, she's out now. Okay, so get rid of the last 2 fires. Hopefully we get lucky. Alright, we'll try again. So hopefully the music isn't too loud and hopefully you guys can hear my voice. Like I said, my OBS decided to be an absolute total womble when I was trying to sort everything out, and YouTube just wasn't picking it up very well, so I was getting a crap ton of frame drops as well as the sound wasn't coming through properly, so I had to completely restart my OBS, but apparently now it is working, so fingers crossed everything is actually coming through your end now. How you doing, J-Will? Damn, I seem to be getting really unlucky with this. Apart from fire, I haven't gotten another single, like, faction reaction in this entire event. Yo, J-Will, did you get your first rank 5 yet? I can't remember. I was going to wait for 9.4. Well, I'm probably going to have to wait for 9.4 to get my first rank 5 champion. But the problem is that I've now been told that apparently... I think I'm going to go for the metal again here. I've been told that apparently 9.4 is now not coming until April. I thought it was coming out in March. How far did we fall? We're currently now in 3rd on the podium rather than at the top. So not too much. But it's going to be quite the gauntlet in the last week. We did have an unfortunate loss today. Our first loss of the season, actually, but we did have a couple of really unfortunate deaths. But we'll do our best to come back from it. We'll just get whatever we can get. We've been pretty lucky with matchups, but Salty just played a lot better. It's as simple as that. That's more like it. Right. I've only got to get 1 more metal now. I might actually get my first faction reaction. You'll get your first rank 5 tomorrow. Ah, yes. Are you still going with the one that you told me you were going to do before? I don't know if I can say it on stream because I don't know if you're planning to surprise people with a video soon, so I don't want to say it until you've revealed it yourself. But if it's the champion that you told me a few days ago, then yes, I'll definitely need to adjust it. Obviously, everybody knows my first rank 5, if I can actually do so, because if it's with catalysts, obviously I can choose, but if it's going to be a 4 to 5 gem from Act 9, then I'm going to have to hope that I get the right class. But I was going through this earlier, and I definitely think my first rank 5, I still want it to be Sorcerer Supreme, but if I was to go for one for each class, I'll probably announce later what I would do, but I'm not going to do it right now. I didn't even get my charges up before. Oh, I can't get my charges up because of the miss. That's the thing. Sometimes the miss is really helpful, and sometimes it's actually really annoying, because if any champion needs to parry to ramp up charges, you can't actually do that. That's who you're doing, you do a vid on it? Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I don't want to say it while I'm on stream, because I don't want to ruin the surprise for all of your viewers. But yes, if it is that one, we'll definitely plan that in and redo the defense for next war. Pretty certain we got a day gap now before the next war anyway, so we'll have plenty of time to sort that out. That's not a problem. Have you decided yet who your first Ascension is going to be, J-Will? Obviously, we should be getting the Tech and Mutant base pull announced, I think, on Friday. I think somebody told me was going to be when they were going to reveal the last ones. For me personally, right now, like, I'm really... Undecided's not the word. Like, for Mystic, I'd really like to do Spiral as an Ascension, but Spiral, I think, is only available in that, what do you call it? The special crystal. So if we're talking about the base pull, then I think my first Ascension so far is looking like I would probably do either Kindred or Man-Thing, but I think Forgotten might be doing Man-Thing. It depends on how good his buff ends up being. But I think Kindred so far is easily the best Ascension that's been announced at the moment. At least from the base pull. I'd have to go through each class. Once the last two classes have been fully revealed, I can really think about exactly who I think I'd want to ascend. Because as much as I love Cersei, I do feel like nowadays she's just not as useful as she used to be. Like, back when I first ranked her up, she was like my 3rd or 4th rank 4 7-star. I think she was my 3rd rank 4 7-star I ever did. And back then, that was before we had Nico, it was before we had Pavita, and before we had a lot more of the Mystic options, so she was a much, much stronger defender back then and was pretty good on attack. But since Carolina's been released, since Nico's been released, and a lot of other Mystic attackers, she really just doesn't have much of a use anymore, so I'm kind of not looking to ascend her. Oh, hi, Anayan. So, tomorrow will be a long stream for me. Going to do Colosseum, and that'll give me the bats from a rank 5. Yeah, so, I'm also the same as you. So, I'm actually off work today and tomorrow. I wouldn't normally stream during the week. Obviously, I usually do my streams at weekends. But because I'm off work today and tomorrow, I decided I'd do a couple of streams this week to see how they go. But yeah, I'm also planning to stream when the Colosseum drops and then move on to do the victory track. But I won't have a rank 5 to do yet because if I just quickly go into my inventory. So I'm currently on just over 1 catalyst. I've got like 1 1/6 of a catalyst. So we get 1.5 from the Colosseum event. So I'll be on like just over 2.5 of the catalysts. But I worked out that if I wanted to get a rank 5 like this week, I would have to spend 7,000 units in the Valentine store to get both of the 2k unit offers for the T5 Alpha, as well as get, I think it's 2 of the 1500, is it 1500 or it might be 1,000 unit deals that gives you like 3,000 shards or something. And to be honest with you, when I'm already at 2.5 catalysts, I feel like spending 7,000 units on what is effectively half of a tier 5 is just not worth it. I'd rather save those 7,000 units for a later spending event in the year. And I have literally 1 of everything. And then I can basically, I guess, try and get more for those units later in the year. Like, I'm fully expecting there to probably be at least 1 tier 5 alpha from exploring 9.4 and from exploring Act 9 completely. I will be very, very disappointed if Kabam don't put at least like a class 4 to 5 gem in the Act 9 exploration rewards. So chances are, if I can just hold on for another few weeks, I'm going to get a rank 5 from there anyway. So half of a tier 5 alpha is not going to make any difference to me whatsoever. I decided to test my luck a bit here. Okay, right, we'll just go for fire. But yeah, I'd rather wait until at 9.4, get the extra half a catalyst. It's very likely going to be from the rewards for that. Maybe even an extra 4 to 5 gem for exploring all of Act 9. Like I said, I'd be very, very disappointed in Kabam if there wasn't at least something along those lines. Like, I'm expecting to get 2 rank 5s from exploring Act 9. So half of a tier 5 alpha right now is not going to make any difference whatsoever. So I'm not spending those units. But I have looked at what champions I would rank 5 from each class. So obviously Mystic, as we already spoke about, would be Sorcerer Supreme. I would also consider rank 5ing either Kindred or Man-Thing if I decided to ascend them. Because obviously a rank 5 ascended 7-star is going to be really nasty, especially if it's a defender. So they are definitely considerations for me at the moment. I don't think Vision Arcus's buff is going to be enough for him. And same with Lady Deathstrike's buff. Like, that just, unfortunately to me, doesn't seem like anything that's going to make a big difference to her. But you never know. We'll see. But as for other classes, for rank 5s, so if I go like backwards around the class wheel, so Mystic, I already said, Sorcerer, Kindred, or Man-Thing. Cosmic, hey, there we go. Cosmic, I would probably do either Deathless Thanos, just because he's a great dual threat. The other one that I would consider doing would be Hyperion, but I'm probably more likely going to go for Deathless Thanos if it's a Cosmic, just because I just feel like Deathless Thanos is just a champion that's just so timeless that rank 5ing him now or whatever is going to be a good call, because I still think he's going to be really useful for a long time to come. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Welcome on in. Have you decided who you think your first rank 5 might be? So carrying on, so Cosmic, I already said, so, oh, I got 2 trees there, so let's see how we can, if we can get another one. So, next one back would be Tech. So for Tech, I would probably look at doing either Yondu or Shocker. Both of those champions for me have been really, really good since I've ranked them up. Yondu is just an absolutely ridiculous tank. Like, there's very little that Yondu... Like, he's not the fastest attacker, but he's definitely one of the safest attackers in the game. And he's fantastic for things like Hazard Shift, because he can just basically play Bite Wolf and just hit into their block. And then he's obviously got great rupture damage anyway. And just the ability to, like, basically cancel out your opponent's attacks through specials and then just, like, take them is just such amazing utility. And Shocker's been a favorite. He was my first ever rank 4 7-star, believe it or not. Shocker was the first ever rank 4 7-star I did, so it'd be kind of fitting that he could be my first Tech rank 5. Just because he's such an absolute monster on attack, but he also has some pretty good defensive value as well. Obviously, if the opponent gets a big nuke, Shocker can be taken down pretty easily. But certainly if he's dragged out in a longer fight, especially for like Alliance War or something, he still gets Alliance War kills even to this day. So he's definitely... hello, Hanabi. I'm just going to stick with the trees. I think by this point I kind of have to. But yeah, I still feel like Shocker's going to be a really good choice. Another one actually is Sentinel. My Sentinel is actually not rank 4 at the moment. He's only rank 3, but his value just seems to be going up and up the more metas that Kabam seem to be bringing out. Obviously, he's not as good as he was before for this meta because it's just a Mystic meta, but Sentinel still catches a lot of people out because he's just so tanky, and if he gets to special 3, it's just completely over. Thanos, Hulkling... Oh, I couldn't even say that, sorry. Thanos, Hulkling, Shocker, or Nefaria. Nefaria is an interesting choice. He's very, very self-sustaining. That's the words. I like that you like Shocker as well. That's, yeah, Shocker's a goat. He's really, really good. Going back again, Mutant, I think I'm pretty much completely decided that my Mutant rank 5 would probably be Sunspot. Because Sunspot is just such a ridiculously good attacker. And there are so many different things he can take. Just by building up Incinerate, if the opponent can be incinerated, Sunspot is practically immortal. Like, you can just load on Incinerates, take whatever they throw at you into the block, and he can just get to special 2 and just nuke pretty much anyone. Like, his only genuine downside is if the opponent is Incinerate immune. The only other one I think I'm considering right now is probably... I probably would do Onslaught, but... I kind of feel like lately Onslaught's value is actually starting... Not on attack. He's always going to be a fantastic attacker just because, like, Degen and Neuroshock are two types of damage over times that very few champions are immune to. But I do feel his defensive value is really starting to drop. Like, we've got some amazing champions now, like Bastion and Jack, Maker, and a few others that just absolutely destroy him. I do feel like his defensive value on the whole is really starting to drop down a bit now. That being said, his AI is easily one of the most cancerous AIs in the entire game, so he definitely still has a place, but I still think Sunspot is probably going to be my Mutant. Yours is going to be Kitty. Fantastic choice. I haven't got Kitty Pride. I haven't also bought the pass, so I won't be getting Kitty at the end. I'm basically going to be kind of hoping that Kitty goes into the Titan eventually, but we'll have to see. I'm not that rushed on Kitty Pride, but I'm definitely interested to get her eventually. For skill, honestly, the one I'm looking at the moment is actually probably going to be Lumatrix or Elsa Bloodstone. But I think I'm leaning more towards Lumatrix just simply because he has use on both sides. Like, if they're caught without a miscounter, that's unfortunate. If they're caught without a miscounter, he's still a pain in the butt to fight on defense. And on offense, obviously, he's just so much fun to play, and it's so easy to just take things down super quick with him. Not to mention, he actually has a plethora of really good immunities with Bleed, Rupture, and yeah, it's really, really nice. The only other class I haven't done is Science. Science is honestly the only class right now that I don't think I have anybody that I would want to rank for. Like, I have Spider-Woman and Photon as options. I also have Spider-Ham as an option. But Science is probably the class I like least nowadays. So yeah, I keep getting one of each. Do you know what? I might just swap all 5 and just see what happens. But yeah, like science, if I just quickly go into my science roster, like I have all of the general like science champions ranked up. Like I have Photon, I have Spider-Woman, Scorpion Thing. Looking at them, like Thing could be a pretty good option just because he's such a ridiculously good defender in a lot of metas. He's not so great in war anymore on defense because, you know, there's just a lot of Thing counters. Mordo is definitely a consideration, but the main reason why Mordo is not on the list currently is because at the moment, obviously rank 5s are the new, like, big, shall we say, step up. So, because of that, I'd prefer to do champions that I already have at high sig, and Mordo is only sig 40. So, from a prestige standpoint, like, Mordo makes very little sense for me to do. I think I need to try and do somebody who's high sig. I could go for... No, I think I'm going to play it safe and go for fire here. I feel like going for 3 water would be a bad idea because I've already had 1 water, which means there's only like 3 left in the entire deck. So the chances of me getting even 2 of them is ridiculously low. I'd rather just play it safe, go for fire, and just try and secure better points. Like, I'm not trying to push really high in this event. The only thing I'm really after is getting all the milestones. Beyond that, I don't really think I'm going to be able to push that high because I seem to have seen loads of people in line chats getting like the big like 5 trees and I haven't even been able to get 5 metals yet. I mean, one of my I did see in another... Really? I didn't get a single fire there? That's annoying. I literally saw in a line chat, I think 2 days ago, somebody got all 5 trees in their very first pull. Which, that's just absolutely crazy luck. And you could tell it was their first pull because it obviously said round 1 of 3 at the top. Which is crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever had more than 3 trees in one go. But I've never... To get all 5 trees in the very first draft is kind of crazy. I don't even know why I heavied there, but screw it. But yeah, if there's like a 4 to 5 gem from Act 9 Exploration, pretty much the only class... Are you kidding me? Yeah, I really don't have the luck. But yeah, if there's a gem from 9.4 for a class gem, honestly, I'd be the class I'd want most would be Mystic, but I'd be happy with pretty much any class except from Science. Science is the only class I really don't want to get a 4 to 5 gem in, because it's the only class that right now I don't think I could genuinely find anything that I would want to rank 5. Like, I'd be rank 5ing someone in the science class for the sake of it, not ranking up somebody I actually want to do. Like, the new Blue Marvel looks like a half-decent defender, but he doesn't seem to be that great on attack from the videos I've seen so far and what people have been saying in chats. But you never know, he might prove wrong. I mean, I suppose when you look at champions like Ghost, for example, I know Ghost is kind of outdated nowadays because, well, while she's still 6-star locked, she's just kind of fallen off, but... Actually, no, a better example would be Kate Bishop. When Kate Bishop first came out, like, nobody really cared about her, to the point where we literally had the opportunity to vote her in the game as a 7-star, and we decided not to. We voted Shang-Chi instead. Biggest mistake in all of the MCOC community's career, in my opinion, but never mind. But like, yeah. I don't always like to believe what people think about a champion just by looking at them when they just release, because quite often people think that a champion's going to be really bad, and then all of a sudden, over time, they get better. Jean Grey was another one. When Jean Grey first came out, people were like, yeah, she's okay, but she's no Onslaught. Whereas nowadays, I think the majority of the game thinks that Jean is better than Onslaught. Oh, come on. Just give me my last one. Yo, Panda Man Pete! If it isn't my favourite longhead buddy. My longhead twin. My longhead American twin, should I say. From across the pond. I knew I could summon you by just saying Ghost's name. The OG Ghost Killer. Right. I was thinking to myself, why did it take so long for him to get to Special 2, and then remembered that Green Goblin reduces your combat power rate? Okay, you gonna give me my 5 metal? Yeah! That's the first, that's ironically the first time I've ever gotten the metal. Okay, that's nice. So that's like what? 8k points? So that time I got at least a little bit of luck. Pandaman P, I'm going to ask every single person that comes into my chat today this exact same question, but as of right now, who is the first champion that you want to rank 5? And who is the first champion from the current revealed list that you would want to ascend? I think I have a guess on who I think your first rank 5 would be. A certain Mystic champion, but I might be wrong. You can tell me if I am. How many of these tokens have I even got? 96. Damn, we're going to be here for a while. I don't think I'd open all of them right now. Okay, let's try and be cheeky and go for some water here. If I remember rightly, I think Stonehenge showed me exactly how many of each are in here. Like, I think there's like 20 of the fire, something like 14 of the earth, and then I think it's like 10 metal, 8 water, and like 5 wood, or something like that. So, the fire is the most common, but obviously worth the least amount of points. The metal is kind of like the middle ground, and the wood is like the jackpot. Yeah, that's exactly who I thought you were going to pick for your rank 5. Which, honestly, I think is a really cool choice. Like, I know everybody does kind of crap on Dracula, and with all due respect, for good reason, he does really kind of need a bit of a damage buff, in my opinion. That being said, he is extremely fun to play. Like, I rank mine to rank 3, and while I don't use him a great deal, he's so much fun to use. I really wish if his degen just did a little bit more damage. Like, his playstyle's fine. He literally just needs a little bit extra damage, and I genuinely think he would be really good. Like, the rank 5 will actually help make that difference in damage that you probably need. But I really like his animations, and I just really like his like playstyle with the hit on block and using that to like activate your dire degen by like hitting them with a light while they try to intercept you, and then right before you get to special 2, especially if they have like no power, you can like charge heavy to activate the dire degen, wait for them to dash in, and then use the special 2, and it does a crap ton of damage. But like after that special 2's been launched, it just kind of goes slow again. But honestly, yeah, with a damage buff, I genuinely think he would be pretty good. But let's activate the protection just in case he decides to use that special 3. There we go. Oh, apparently the protection was not enough. Oh no, there we go. Damn, I did 50% even though I had the protection up. That's kind of nutty. Okay, I'm hoping I can just kill him without... There we go. I mean, come on, Mike. We all know the main reason why the damage... not the damage. The buff program went away. God damn it! Literally one Earth would have been better than nothing, but no. But yeah, we know the reason why the buff program went away was because Dark Phoenix was up next, and they didn't want to risk having to nerf a champion that so many people had spent thousands and thousands of dollars trying to get. Like, I think KT1 ironically put it the best way, where Kabam literally put themselves in a lose-lose situation. Where if they had have nerfed Dark Phoenix, everybody that bought her would have been extremely peed off. Whereas if they didn't nerf Dark Phoenix, then anybody who didn't get her would be ridiculously peed off that this broken, overpowered champion exists in the game. So rather than face any kind of backlash, they just decided to close the buff program before she came around, which... underneath was quite a clever move, but they still ended up peeing off players anyway, because it was just such a cop-out. And apparently I can't dex Vox's special 2 today. Actually that was a special 1, never mind. It's a shame, though, because there are champions that have come out after Dark Phoenix that really could have done with a little bit of a buff. Like, recent champions we've had, for example, literally in the last few months, like J. Jonah Jameson, for example, I haven't seen a single bit of good anything about that champion. I haven't seen anything about him as a defender. I haven't seen anything about him as an attacker. Like, he just kind of existed. Like, there's just nothing about him that screams useful. Obviously, Dracula needs a bit of a damage buff, but then I think, honestly, if he just given just a little bit of a damage tune-up, I think he'd be fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with his playstyle or his rotation. It is literally just he needs a bit more damage. But even, like, this month, for example, like, M'Baku is... interesting, but the unfortunate thing is that 2025 was such a ridiculous year for champions in the first half. Like, we had Okoye, we had Nico, we had Carolina Dean, and just all of the champions that are coming out now are just going to be compared to those champions, and if they're not comparable to them in a Battlegrounds or a war like mindset, people are just going to completely ignore them. Like Blue Marvel, really cool looking champion, really like cool kit and all that lot. But for the current state of the game and the current like what everybody seems to push, he doesn't have any real use. Like nowadays, because of the way, you know, the rewards are, the game is, like, the only thing Blue Marvel has going for him is prestige for the people that push in AQ. But apart from that, like, obviously it's too early to tell, I suppose, because he's only been out for a short amount of time, but he doesn't seem to be very good for Battlegrounds. He doesn't seem to be very much for war. He doesn't seem to be a great defender. Like, okay, his special 2 is a little bit difficult to dex, but his special 1 is really not that bad. Okay, I shouldn't have tried to go for the water. That was my fault. And, like, the Doctor Strange buff was pretty good. Like, utility-wise, he's absolutely fantastic, but his damage is a little bit low from what I've seen from some people. He was really good for the Power Shield meta, and he'll actually be really good for this meta as well, because obviously Mystic Champions get absolutely juiced this meta. But I am a little bit worried that once these like Mystic metas and Power Shield metas die down, that he's going to be a little bit on the slower side. But again, that awaits to be seen. But from the Titan coming up, which changes in, I think it's like 21 days. I think it's literally 3 weeks today that the Titan changes. And honestly, apart from Doctor Strange, I don't think there's a single champion in that crystal that I'm genuinely looking forward to. Like, not a single one, which is kind of bad when you think about it. I forgot it was unblockable. I tried to block it. I mean, Torch was kind of released in these Valentine's crystals, but I wouldn't really call that a reliable way to get them. Like, if you get really lucky, great, but chances of that is really low. But it has been possible. Like, I've got Torch. I got him back in the Heatwave event because I was lucky enough to have 40k units on hand when he came out. But, like, in general, nowadays, I don't really use him that much. Like, he's a great Mystic killer, and he's, to be honest, in an ironic way, because so many energy champs are in the game right now. Like, you got Jean, you've got all the powerful Mystics, and just like all the different energy champions that they've released over the last like year. Even like Carolina and stuff like that. Like, Torch completely walls them and shuts them down just by being put on defense, just because of how punishing he is for any energy damage character that's not immune to Incinerate. Like, if you go against him with an energy or a Mystic champion, you just lose. It is as simple as that. Like, he's ironically a really good defender. Like, obviously he's great on attack as well, because his Nova Flames, only like a handful of champions in the game are actually immune to it. In fact, I think there's only 3 champions I can think of that are immune to Nova Flame. And that's Iceman, Dark Phoenix, and I think Super Skrull. I might be wrong about Skrull. I've got it in my head that Super Skrull is immune to Nova Flame since his buff, but I might be wrong. But if he's not immune, then that means there's only 2 champions in the whole game that are immune to his Novas, so he's definitely a champion that is worth having. Yeah, we're going to stick with the metal, I think. See if we can get a bit lucky again. I mean, 3 metal is still better than wild horses. I know not a lot of people like titles, but I'm kind of a little bit disappointed that this time with the poker event that they haven't included any titles like they did last time. Like last time you had like Fit for a King one if you got Kingmaker. You had special ones if you got the Ace and the Fantastic Four and stuff like that. But this time they've just not included any kind of title. Like, with all like the fire, wind, earth, water and everything they've got, they could have done like some really cool, like, I don't know, Avatar themed titles, or, you know, something like that. Are you kidding me? I get 2 woods. Like, I feel like they could have had some anime references or something with the way that they did the event this time, but maybe that's just the geek in me coming out. I'm actually going to a Comic-Con literally this weekend where I'm going to be dressing up as an anime character for the day, which is kind of fun. was going to say, that fight was starting to take a bit of time. Okay, we're getting closer to the milestones. So, do these milestones, like, reset every week? Or is it once you hit the milestones, that's it? Because I don't know if I can really be bothered to do all of this grinding for this, like, 3 weeks in a row. To be fair, that's something else that I've seen a lot of people saying recently, is that MCOC as a whole has just felt so grindy to people lately, and I have to say I agree. Like, there's nothing wrong with having content, but when you overload people with stuff to do, and it just takes so much time, like, it just gets annoying and irritating. And, you know, as many have said, you know, people have stuff to do outside the game. People have stuff, you know, they have lives and things that they want to be doing instead. And while I understand they want people to play their game, there needs to be a limit. Like, literally just a couple of years ago, they just had the event quest, and then, like, you'd have, like, a side quest that would say, like, 3 fights a day. And you'd get enough to get all of the relevant rewards for that time period just from doing those 3 fights a day, and it was fine. But, like, for example, in the last month, we've had that awful Dimensional Arcade that just took so bloomin' long to get all of the milestones for, on top of this poker event that's 3 months long. Oh, that's nice. I'll take that. I think that's actually worth more than the metal. No, I think the metal was worth more. Might as well go for the last one, but... Today you opened Gene Grain, a Titan Crystal. Very, very nice. That is probably... Honestly, that's probably the best pull in the crystal right now if you didn't have her. Like, I haven't been saving crystals as long as most people. Like, I fully admit that I haven't really bothered with that, but I was just having this discussion a little bit earlier where the new Titan that's coming out, there are genuinely, I think the only character out of the 6 coming into the crystal that I really want to get is Doctor Strange. And that's pretty much it. Like, okay, Heimdall could actually be a pretty good defender, at least for Battlegrounds, because he'll be slow to take down. Because it's very, very difficult to avoid his indestructible and just his, like, stalling capabilities. That's fine. So for that aspect, he will be quite useful. He'll also obviously be really good for war, because he'll actually be usable on attack. And you can obviously bring him as a synergy. But, like, I wouldn't really say I'd be excited to pull him. Like, it'd be nice to have, and I could potentially take him up for that defensive aspect, but genuinely, I don't think he'd be somebody I'd want to pull. Obviously, Doctor Strange, I said, is definitely one that I would be very happy to pull. I'm a big fan of Sorcerer Supreme, as you know, and Doctor Strange has a lot of really nice synergies with her, which... And obviously Doctor Strange himself actually being a really good attacker. Just a fantastic champion that was very much needed. So he's definitely one on the list. But, like, of the rest of the characters, like, I might just go for fire here. But for the rest of the characters, like Blue Marvel, again, looks okay, but his target is not really anything relevant anymore apart from... Oh, Blue Marvel is actually good. Do you have him? Hey, man. I'd be interested to know how Blue Marvel is from somebody who actually has him rather than just videos I've seen. because he does look to be too slow on attack for things like Battlegrounds and War. I don't know yet about his defense capabilities, but I personally found him very easy to fight in the EQ. Like, I didn't see anything about him that would be a defensive threat, apart from the fact that maybe he might slow a couple of people down with inequity like Photon does, but aside from that, his specials aren't particularly difficult to dex, and he doesn't have any, like, difficult to avoid damage or unavoidable damage or any kind of abilities that really stop you apart from, like I said, the inequity. M'Baku just looks fun, but he kind of looks like very similar to Frankencastle. And now I've got a rank 4 Sig 200 Frankencastle. He's really fun to play, but he is not better than a lot of the skill class. Like, he's probably one of the best high evolutionary counters in the game, and he's surprisingly good for champions like Arnim Zola. But apart from the science class and a couple of very niche fights outside the science class, he takes too much damage, in my experience, from his playstyle to be widely used. He's very risky to play. And M'Baku kind of reminds me of the same sort of thing, where, you know, you've got your unstoppable, and you can use that to open up the opponent and attack and all that lot, and that's great. His damage is decent, but it does take a little bit of a while to get up, which is another problem he has. But, like, when you look, the big problem, like I said, is that all these champions that are coming out are going to be compared to the champions that we already have. And, like, defense-wise, you have Yelena Belova, you have OG Punisher. I wouldn't really say Bullseye's much of a defender anymore, and neither is Atuma. Like, if you catch your opponent without a counter, they're still good, but generally your opponent will have a counter to those nowadays, so their use is a lot lower than it used to be. Let's try for Earth this time. But, like, and then attackers-wise, you've got, like, Okoye and Lumatrix and, you know, Kingpin and all this lot. And Crossbones is another really, really potent skill attacker. And when you compare M'Baku to any of those attackers or defenders, he just doesn't have anything that makes him stand out, that makes him have any kind of use over using one of those champions. And that, I think, is the biggest issue that Kabam have had recently with their champions, is that none of them have brought anything to the table that we don't already have. So nobody's really interested in them. Like Silver Samurai. Great design prospect, but apart from Yelena Belova, like, he is probably the fastest Yelena Belova counter out there. But outside of Yelena, he doesn't really seem to do a lot. And you've got champions like, say, Jean Grey or Onslaught that can take Yelena Belova maybe, okay, slightly worse than what Silver Samurai can take her. But those two can take a huge number of different champions. Whereas Silver Samurai just can't. Or at least not to the level that they can. So, yeah, it just kind of, like, yeah. I don't know what's kind of scared Kabam off making strong champions recently. I don't know if it's just because we've had so many strong champions in the first half of 2025 that they decided to kind of roll it back. Same thing with the defenders. Obviously, we had Enchantress, we had Yelena, we had so many different, well, Serpent, Dark Phoenix, and, you know, all that lot that came into the game really quickly. And I think it's just kind of scared Kabam off of bringing out really good champions anymore, because they're worried about maybe unbalancing things or whatever, but they've already done that. Like, if a champion doesn't do better, it's not going to be used, frankly. Like, a lot of the buffs we've had recently have been better than the new champs we've had coming out. Like, the Rhino buff, okay, he's not a great attacker, but he's a very, very good defender. Really, really difficult to take down quickly and has good use. Doctor Strange is looking like he could be a really good new Mystic attacker. But, like, the new champions, I genuinely think they last, like, really good. I'm trying to think, like, who's come out, like, in the past, like, 6 months. Who the last, like, really, really good, well-used champion was. Let me just try and have a look at something here. If okay, I'm just having a look on the MCOC cockpit right now, and looking at these, like, I think the most recent really good champion that we've had is probably Pavita. I think Pavita Prabhakar is probably the last time that they made a really good champion that people actually wanted to use. And ever since then, every character has just kind of been like, eh. Like, looking at 2025 and 2026 as a whole, like, we had great champions like Zola, we had Bastion, Dark Phoenix, who's obviously just a bullcrap defender, but she is really good at what she does. You know, we've had Jean Grey, we've had Carolina, we've had Lumatrix, we've had Nico, Okoye, and Pavita. And Spider-Woman, although Spider-Woman got slightly nerfed, but I still think she's very good. But then you look at, like, the more recent ones, and you've got, like, Spider Slayer, and you've got Gentle, and M'Baku. And to be honest, even Imperiosa, to me, was a bit of a disappointment. Like, Lizard, again, is okay, but he doesn't bring anything good or new to the table that other science champions can't already do. And, like, well, Dracula was just booty. Cassandra Nova, again, decent. Is pretty good, both offensively and defensively. But, and take this with a pinch of salt, whether you agree or disagree, but I just basically see Cassandra Nova as a worse Jean Grey. Like, Jean is just better than Cassandra Nova in virtually every aspect apart from taking Nick Fury. In which, if you want to take Nick Fury, there are champions like Deadpool X-Force, and technically Penny, but I think Cassandra's better at taking Nick than Penny is, but yeah, I just... So yeah, you're looking at Dracula and Punk. I actually really like the Spider-Punk idea. Like, my Spider-Punk's only rank 1, but that's because he's not duped, and I wouldn't even say I'm not a fan of him. He's actually really, really good. I just, yeah, I haven't ranked him because he kind of really needs the dupe, if we're being honest. Like, the extra rupture damage from those specials is, or should I say from baiting specials, does make quite a bit of a difference, especially if you want to try and, like, use the special one afterwards to kind of burst them all. That's not what I wanted. Do you know what? Screw this. I'm probably going to get the wild horses anyway. But as for my picks, I did go through them already. So, Ascension-wise, from what we've had revealed so far, if I can pull it from the crystal, I'd really love to ascend Spiral. But if we're talking from the base Ascension pool, then Man-Thing and Kindred have really piqued my interest. they're probably the main two I'm looking at. I need to find a picture of the Ascension pool so I can remember. The problem is that I can't remember half the blooming champs that are currently in the Ascension pool because a lot of them are just, unfortunately, so forgettable. MCOC 7-star Ascension list. I'm sure it'll come up somewhere. Oh, actually, I would be quite interested in doing Black Panther Civil War if I can get mine to Sig 200. That is actually one Ascension that I would be quite interested in. Because he's a very underrated attacker. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen, that's fine. I'm trying to go through them class by class of what's been revealed so far. I'm just like going through the pictures that I'm finding. So, science-wise, yeah, I'd definitely say that Spider-Punk is the best out of the 5. Personally, I don't rate High Evo much as a defender, and I don't think Sandman's buff is going to make that much of a difference. I'm just trying to see what other ones there are. Oh, no, I'm not even looking at the screen at the moment. I'm getting beaten up while I'm looking for it. Okay, right, hold on a minute. Let me beat this guy up a sec while I try and find the rest. Okay, now he should die. I'm struggling to find the tech or the cosmic one at the moment. Oh no, the tech one hasn't been revealed yet. It's cosmic and... it's just the cosmic one I need to find, so I already said the mystic ones I'm interested in. I can't seem to find it right now, unfortunately. If anybody has the list, that might help. Okay, I'll try and go for water to start with, but if I don't get any good waters afterwards, I'll just switch to something else. Like, 3 waters is worth more than 5 fires, but obviously 2 waters is worth nothing. I don't really rate Falcon Torres since his buff either. I don't think his buff made much of a difference, to be honest. He needed more than what he got. He's still bad. He's not as bad, but he's still bad. Because unfortunately, Kabam did exactly what I just said recently, where they released a champion, Falcon, and then released somebody who does exactly what he does, but so much better, literally a month or 2 later when they released Spider-Woman. Like, Falcon was sold as this amazing Enchantress counter, and then literally, I think it was literally 2 months later, they brought out Spider-Woman that literally counters Enchantress better in every single way, as well as being a decent defender, as well as being able to take literally probably about 80 to 90% of the entire of the roster. Oh no, I appreciate it, Panda. I'll find it later. Okay, I'm gonna just go to fire this time. Yeah, for some reason I can't find the, Nope. Yeah, I can't find the Ascension list for Cosmic for whatever reason. I know that Cersei was in it, and I know that Arcus was in it, but neither of those are champions that I think I'd want to ascend. But like I said, I don't think it's anybody memorable if I literally can't remember it. I just said I was going to try and go for fire. Because 3 fire is better than... Are you actually having a bubble? Yeah, my luck today has sucked. Okay, I've just found it now. So, Mystic is definitely the best class, without a doubt. Like, you've got Mojo, Sasquatch, Destroyer, Kindred, Man-Thing. Honestly, I'd probably ascend anybody except from the Destroyer. He's probably the only one out of those 5 that I wouldn't at the very least consider. So Cosmic is Arcus, Cersei, Gore. Okay, so... Oh. I would 100% do Nova. At least, I would if my Nova was awakened and max sig. But unfortunately, my Nova is still unawakened. But if my Nova was to become awakened, he would definitely be the Cosmic that I would rank, well, I would definitely ascend. Adam Warlock is also very good, but I don't like how reliant he is on the AI aspect of the game. Like, oh, why am I tempted to try and go for the trees? This is going to be a bad idea, but whatever. Like, Adam Warlock is such a risky champion. If the AI plays along with his playstyle, he is ridiculously fast. But if the AI even does one thing that you don't want to do, i.e. if they let your taunt run out and you lose your buffs, his entire rotation is gone. And it takes ages to come back. Like, you basically need to try and get him down in one go and just hope for the best. But no, I think 100%... Right, I'm going to go for the full fire now. Yeah, 100%. So Nova is who I descend from Cosmic. Pretty much anybody except the Destroyer for Mystic. I don't have him ranked, but if I was to pick a couple, it would probably be Spider-Punk or... I guess that's probably it for Science, to be honest. And then skill, I'd do Black Panther Civil War, most likely. Have they released, like, what the buff is on Vision Arcus yet? Well, that's unfortunate. Oh yeah, I forgot about the mess. I should have just used the special 3, actually. Am I wrong in thinking that Darkhawk can't miss when he's in this mode? No, I didn't get a chance to really check. Okay, I swore I parried him there, but okay. Darkhawk, where on earth is your damage? Like, you're supposed to be in your big damage mode, and you've got 8 Furies, and you're still doing absolutely nothing. Well, there's another chance. I wonder if he might be in the techs. I wonder if Darkhawk might genuinely be in the techs and just buff him and release him as a 7-star. Probably not. There'll probably be champions that already exist as 7 stars. Actually, I might have a look in a minute and see if I can guess who I think could be a potential option for the Tech and Mutant classes. I'm kind of interested. Let me have a look here. So it would be champions that are obviously in the basic pool. So let's see. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if Bishop is one. Possibly with a buff. Yeah, I reckon Bishop will be one. I'm pretty certain Emma Frost was revealed as one. Let's see. I have a feeling North Star might be one. Okay, so I reckon if I had to guess the 5 ascended mutants, yeah, I think it will be Bishop, Emma, North Star, Storm Pyramid X, and maybe Strife. And I think that Storm X and Bishop could maybe receive a buff. That would probably be my guess for that class. Let me know what 5 you think. That's probably what I would go for personally. So in your alliance pulled Blue Marvel? Yeah, same here. One of ours pulled him today as well. Immediately ranked 4 and Sig 200'd him. I don't reckon Nightcrawler will be because he's not in the basic... Oh, actually, yes, he is, isn't he? He was added to the basic crystal. I'd be pretty happy if Nightcrawler was one, not gonna lie. I forgot that he's been added into the basic now. He could be. But I'm still gonna stick by that. I definitely think 3 for I'm almost certain will be in it. Will be Bishop, Storm Pyramid X, and obviously Emma Frost, because she was already revealed. For Tech, I have a feeling that Guardian might be one. I don't know why. I reckon Guardian, Iron Man Infinity War. Penny Parker, I think, has already been confirmed. Then I reckon it could be Shuri. So I'm looking at the list now while we're going through this. Oh, and obviously Lady Deathstrike was revealed. So I reckon Lady Deathstrike, yeah, Lady Deathstrike, Penny Parker, Iron Man Infinity War, Guardian and Shuri, I think are the 5 that I would guess would go into the Ascension pool. The only other one that might maybe make it in... No, I don't think they would do... No, I don't think that they would do him yet. I was gonna say maybe they might do Arcade. One that would deserve it with a buff is Captain Sam Wilson. Like, I think if Sam Wilson got a damage buff, and was made as an Ascension, I think he would actually be pretty good. In fact, yeah, I'm going to change what I said. I'm actually going to say, I think it's going to be Penny Parker, Iron Man Infinity War, Shuri, and then I think it is going to probably be Captain Sam Wilson with a buff. I can't remember the last one I said now. God, I have a terrible memory. Yeah, I don't think Guardian will be put in it yet. Not yet. Oh, it's Lady... Yeah, so, yeah. Penny Parker, Lady Deathstrike, Iron Man Infinity War, Shuri, and a buffed Captain Sam Wilson. That's my guess for tech. Yeah, that's my guess for tech. We'll see how many I get right in a couple of days, but... I think that Bishop would be really good as an Ascension. Like, he's fallen off a little bit because his defensive threat is nowhere near what it used to be, and his damage is just not there anymore compared to other mutants we've had out. But I think with an Ascension, I think that would really help him out. I do genuinely think that would really help him out. I think Storm X and Bishop both really deserve an Ascension. Not saying that a lot of people would do it, but I do think having the option to ascend those would be very good. But they said that there's 3 buffs left, but I don't know if that's including the buffs they've announced for Emma, Frost, and Penny, or whether there's 3 more buffs to be announced. Because if it includes Penny and Emma, then out of all the ones I've said, the 10 that I said between the 2 classes, I think out of all of them, Captain Sam Wilson deserves the buff more than any of the other 8 that wouldn't be getting a buff. If if Lady Deathstrike and Emma Frost's buffs are not included in the 3 buffs that are yet to be announced, then I reckon the buffs would probably be Captain Sam Wilson. I wouldn't be surprised as well if we then got 2 mutant buffs. Northstar needs another buff, and I really do think they're going to put him as an Ascension. I don't know why, I just have a feeling that Northstar's going to be one of them. Shuri would be a good Ascension, for the same reason as Bishop. She's a good champion, she's just a little bit too slow nowadays, but I think with an Ascension, I think that would really help her out. Like, from what I can tell, a lot of the Ascensions that they've been going for seem to be champions that they feel need a bit of a boost. Like, High Evo is literally done for prestige and nothing else. Like, that's pretty much obvious. The main reason he was put as a 7-star was for the prestige hunters. Obviously, the champions that have been released after Pavita Prabraka in the Titan Crystal will also be ascendable, which I think is another reason why since Pavita Prabraka, we haven't had any real decent champions. Is because these champions are going into the Ascension pool straight away. Like, Doctor Strange is ascendable. Now, why you would want to ascend any of the Mystics, apart from maybe Kindred for defense, over Doctor Strange, I don't know. Like, Doctor Strange, I think, is going to be the best Mystic Ascension. Spiral should be pretty good, and Kindred will be pretty good for defense. But Strange, I think, is going to be the best Mystic Ascension available. But yeah, like... I feel like they're trying to give champions that are no longer used or aren't used very often a little bit more of a boost. The problem with that is that I think a lot of people might do their first Ascension or so just to have one. But then I expect that a lot of people are just going to save their Ascension materials for when better champions are added into the pool. I mean, Anayan, the new Titan Crystal, changes in literally like less than 3 weeks. If I were you, I'd wait. I think Pavita Prabraka is ascendable. So actually, yeah, I take back that statement. Pavita might be the best ascendable mystic. It's too early to tell. Like, Strange, I think, has better fight control, but Pavita is definitely the faster attacker, from what I've seen. But yeah, anyone that was released from Lizard onwards, including Pavita Prabraka, is ascendable. Lizard is the first ascendable Titan champion, so by that logic, yeah, he is. Pavita is in the Ascension pool. However, I don't think the acquisition of their Ascension is the same as it is for the base pool. I think you've got to pull Sig 200 of the Titan champions a ridiculous amount of times to be able to ascend them, if I've understood it correctly. This game really doesn't want to give me any more metals, does it? Dracula did barely miss the cutoff. Again, honestly, Dracula just needs just a little bit of a damage boost. Mainly to his degen. Like, that's it. Just make his degen a little bit more powerful and make the, like, the multiplication on the tick rate a bit better so it does a bit more damage. And I genuinely think you'd have a great champion there. Like, the slow and the fear utility to basically completely shut down Unblockable and Unstoppable, plus the really reliable nullifies on his special 1. Like, his utility is actually really, really good. His damage just sucks. Yes, you will need to Sig 200 Pavita before the Ascension goes live if you want to ascend him. Because I'm pretty certain Kabam said that the only way that you can ascend champions that are in the Titan is to pull them at Sig 200 in the Titan to get shards towards their Ascension. If I'm wrong about that, I'm sure somebody in the chat will correct me, but that is how I understand the way they're doing it. Yeah, I wouldn't open any Titan... If you want to go for an Ascension on Pavita, I would not pull on any more Titan Crystals until you have him at Sig 200. I mean, yeah, I would... Oh, that's nice. I'll just go for fire. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't complain about an immunity on him. I really think that Dracula should be bleed immune, considering he's, you know, Dracula, like the king of the vampires, and he can bleed. What? Like, I really think he should have been bleed immune, personally, but never mind. But apart from his immunities, like, his utility is really, really good. He just needs, honestly, like I said, just his degen just needs a bit of a ramp up. It's only on attack, so it's not like it's even a defensive threat. If it was on defense as well, he'd kind of be really busted. But because it's only on attack, what is wrong with just making it a little bit stronger? Like, keep it as it is as a base, just increase the damage it does when you get the dire degen, and especially the dire degen. Like, if you're using dire degen on that special 2, it should be absolutely melting people by that point, but it just doesn't. And that's the problem. Because his utility is great. The nullifies, the unstoppable and unblockable control, like, that side of him's great. It's just the damage. Or that, Anayan, yeah, that would also work. Like, if he just didn't take damage from bleed debuffs. In fact, that would be even better than being immune, because then you can just willpower healing from bleed. I think I'm going to go for metal again. Like, metal seems to be the best one to go for because it's like a middle ground. If I get a lot of fire, I'll just grab that because it's basically 2,000 points each time. So it's not like a big win, but it's better than nothing. But I think metal is the safest one to go for because you basically have 1/6 of a chance each time to pull a metal. Like, I think the wood and the water is completely useless to go for unless you already start with at least 3. Unless you start with 3 or more, there's no point going for those. Metal I probably shouldn't go for unless I put 2 at the start. Like, I think that's what I should look at now. Unless I have 2 or more metal or have 3 or more water or wood, I should just go for earth or fire. So I think what I'm going to do here... Yeah, I'm going to go for metal for this one just to see what I get. If I don't get 2 metal or more... Right. I don't trust those woods, so I'm going to go for the 3 earth now. How you doing, Frodo? Great to see you. You got a wood faction reaction. I mean, the highest faction reaction I've now got is metal, which I got earlier on in the stream. I've only ever gotten 4 water once, and I've never had more than 3 wood. And this is exactly why I would not ascend Destroyer, because he's just so slow. Send it online, go for it. Right, I'm going to go for Earth now. Well, that was a bad decision. Well, since I haven't pulled any Earth, I've got more of a chance of pulling Earth on this one, so I'll just keep going with that. So, since I've given the 5 I think are going to be put into the Ascension pool from each class, you guys in the chat right now, let me know what 5 champions you think are going to be added to the Ascension pool for each of the remaining classes between Mutant and Tech, and which one of those champions you think will receive the buff. Obviously, Penny Parker and Emma Frost and Lady Deathstrike have already been confirmed, but we still have 9 more to find out. 7 more to find out. I can math. Alright, I guess it's better than nothing, but it was kind of ass. I mean, 237 is better than 75, but not by much. Yeah, so I'm going to go with that rule that I just said from now on. So, if I get 2 or more metal, I'll go for that. If I get 3 or more water or wood, I'll go for that. If I don't have either, I'll just go for whatever I have more out of fire and earth. I love the fact I'm still trying to dex the specials, even though I had the permanent mess-up. Mike, do you have a rank 5 yet? Or are you going to get one? Okay, I'm going to go for metal here. Or do you get one from the Colosseum? Like I said, I won't get one until either 9.4 releases or unless they give an event that gives about half of a tier 5 alpha next month. Because after the Colosseum, I'm going to be half a tier 5 alpha short. But I'm hoping that we'll get 2 from 9.4. I reckon we'll get 1 tier 5 alpha, maybe 1.5 tier 5 alpha. To balance out the 1.5 we got from the Colosseum from 9.4 exploration. And then I'm expecting a 4 to 5 gem from Act 9 100%. Ah, you're going to go for a rank 5 on a champion that's ascendable. That's fair. But yeah, who do you guys think are going to be the remaining ones in the Ascension pool? You're pretty much in the same position as me. I'll have about 2 and about 6/10 of a third one when the Colosseum ends. Yeah, I'm going to stick with metal here. We got 3 now. I don't think Kindred needs to be max ascended. You'll get Ascension Shards, I believe, from any max Sig 7-star you pull. And as far as I'm aware, it'll count any that you get already. So you should get I don't know when they're backdating it from, but if you get any max Sigs on 7 stars this month, it will count towards your Ascension Shards when they're released. I think it's next month. I am really looking forward to seeing what the magic rework is in the next stream, because I would imagine that magic is going to be ascendable as well as a 7-star. Because she's releasing next month, and I'm assuming that she's the champion that's coming with Pixie. So next month's champions are going to be a reworked Magic and then Pixie. So, but obviously Magic's only going to be available from the Radiance store and like Radiance tokens. She's not going to be in the base pool, but I imagine she's going to be ascendable. So I am kind of excited to see exactly what they do with her. It should be pretty interesting. I don't even know if I'm using Negasonic properly here, but she's... wow. She seems very slow. I mean, that's still okay. 888 points is still decent. Like, for me, if I'm getting 500 points per token, I'm fine with that. Because like I said, I'm not going for any high scores or trying to get to the top of the leaderboard. I'm literally just trying to get all the milestones. And then tomorrow, I'll be streaming the Colosseum. And then I'll be making a start in the victory track because I'm off work the next 2 days, so I'm gonna stream on both days while I have the chance, because usually I only have time to stream at weekends. But I won't have time to stream this weekend because I'm going to an anime convention, so I won't be home this weekend. Right, I'm gonna go for fire here and just get the points. And yes, I will be cosplaying at this anime convention. I already have it ready and waiting to go. I am happy to accept that I am a nerd. If you know me even the slightest bit, I'm a huge anime fan. Right. But yeah, so we'll find out the final Ascension champs this Friday, then the stream to show Magic and Pixie is going to be the following Friday. I'm hoping that even though 9.4 isn't releasing in March, that they're at least going to give us a hint about what the rewards for Act 9 are going to be. Because honestly, the fact that Act 9 is now not coming until April means that they pretty much have to give us a rank 5 by that point, at least one. Because a lot of people are going to have 1 to 2 rank 5s after the Colosseum ends. I'm going to be just off of it. You really want to cosplay Hal, but now your hair is too long. I mean, for my character, their hair's actually quite short. I'm just going to be tying my hair up into a bun and then wearing a wig. I think the more concerning thing is that my cosplay means I'm actually going to be pretty much topless for the entire event. And it's winter here in the UK, so I'm going to be freaking freezing. But the things that we do for cosplay. You know? I got lazy there. No, the stream for Marvel is going to be not this Friday, but the following Friday. But they'll be revealing the last 2 classes for the Ascension pool this Friday. And then the following week is when they're going to show Pixie and Magic in the live stream. And I'm guessing they'll reveal some information. I'd imagine they'd show us the boss for Act 9.4, because they usually reveal the boss a month in advance. But I've been hearing from many sources that Act 9.4 is not due to release until April now. Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Let's try Earth first, since that's worth a little bit more points than Fire. I've been really unlucky with the starts. I haven't been getting any woods or waters. I've had a couple of ones where I've started with a decent amount of metal, but that's the way the luck runs. Oh, I did that too early. Okay, he's dead. Honestly, this feels like I'm grinding arena now. Yep, we'll stick with Earth. If I can get a faction reaction for Earth, that'll be at least better than Fire. Mole Man is a champion I've actually been debating ranking up. Mine's been ranked to like C20 now for like... It's got a P. When did he release? He was in that... Was he in the Omega Days Champions? Or was it a different pool he was in? I pulled him when he first came out, when he came out with Longshot. I think it was the Omega Days Champions. But I pulled him twice during that event, and I've just never used him since. Never pulled him since, never used him since. But he seems pretty good. There's the faction reaction, Earth. Yeah. Tell you what, Mike, drop me a... I think you've got me online, haven't you? If you have, drop me a message online and let me know what you're looking for, and if I come across it, I will absolutely let you know to see whether or not you want me to get it. You can obviously sort out giving me the stuff for it at another time. Okay, that was better. Alright, so this time... Yeah, I'm gonna go Earth again. Whatever I have more of out of Earth and Fire at the start is what I'll go for, unless, like I said, I have 3 Metal, Water, or Wood at the start. I'll go for those instead, but I found that going for Wood or going for Water if you don't have a good start is just a waste of time and a waste of points. The main thing I don't want is I don't want to land on the 25 points, because that's just basically a huge waste. You don't? Okay. 1 second. If it still allows you to add by line ID, I'll just put it here for you. Most people that come into my channel nowadays already have me online, so I can post that here, but that's my line ID. If that doesn't let you find me, let me know and we'll try and find another way for me to contact you. But yeah, let me know what it is you want me to try and look for and I can let you know if I find it. I'm going for the whole weekend, so I'm bound to get plenty of time to go around all the stalls and the, well, get around everything that's there. You're gonna be a pain in the butt. Throw this. Yeah, you're gonna be a pain in the butt. You suck. It's a Beerus Banpresto figure thing. I'm a huge collector, but Beerus is the one I want. It's over 100 quid. Okay. If you can add me online and send a photo of what you're looking for, if I come across it, damn, we've been getting these Earths pretty reliably at the moment. Yeah, if you can show me exactly what it is you're looking for, if I come across it anywhere in the convention, I will absolutely message you and let you know how much it costs. And then obviously if you want it, I can get it and then we can try and figure out a way for me to get it to you that's not ridiculously expensive. Because I'm pretty certain that you are not from the same country I am. Mind you, it might end up being cheaper than it might end up being cheaper for me to buy it and send it to you. We'll have to see. Obviously, I'm from the UK, so I assume you're American? I might be wrong. If you're from the UK as well, then that makes things way easier. Okay, I'm going to stick with the Earth, because that seems to be going pretty well so far. We're getting close to the, to getting all the milestones now. Once we hit all the milestones, I'll open all of the, envelope crystals that we get from it. I'm not expecting to pull anything decent, but you never know. Ah, you are from the UK. Oh, in that case, absolutely then. Yeah. 100%. Let me know what you... Send me a picture of it, and if I see it, I can definitely get that and post it to you. It's not a problem. I mean, it's not a absolute... It's a fairly big convention. It is in London, so it's a pretty big anime con that I'm going to. I'm going to the MCN one in May. So if I don't find it in this one, there's always the chance I might find it in May instead. So definitely let me know, just in case. per damage done? Ow. Oh, yeah, the concussions. Oh, yeah, I forgot that Luke Cage kind of has a thing that makes him do more damage per debuff. And then there's me with 22 concussions on me. And then surprise Pikachu face when I get killed in one hit. That was quite funny, actually. That amused me. Looks like my luck's running out. Perfect. Thank you for that, Mike. I will definitely take a look at that once the stream's finished, and I will reply to you as soon as I am able. I'm surprised the line ID actually worked, because for some reason my line's been an absolute nightmare with trying to add people by line ID recently, so I'm glad it worked for you. Excuse me. Okay, we're getting close to the final milestone. Okay, I'm going to try something a bit different on this one. Let's go for a full reroll and see what happens. Because I didn't really get a good start. I want to try and get better than fire. Like, obviously fire's still better than horses, but it doesn't really give you a lot of points to the amount of, well, for the token that I'm using. Oh, there's nothing wrong with being a collection addict. Mate, the amount of anime figures and plushies I've got around my house is kind of ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to try for Earth again. The fact that we pulled a lot of fire would tell me that I should be able to pull more of other factions. Because I don't think you can pull the same card in the deck twice. So, like, if you pull, like, a Spider Ham who's Earth, and then get rid of it, I don't think you can re-pull him for the rest of the game, as far as I'm aware. So if you start with, like, 4 fires and then switch out and you get 3 of something else, or 4 of something else, then, yeah, that worked out, so... But yeah, I'm pretty certain you can't pull the same card twice. So if you were to swap 4 fire, and then get another 4 fire, and then swap them out again, you've effectively used 8 fire out of the 20 that are in the deck. So it should mean that you have less chance to pull a fire afterwards, if that makes sense. At least that's the way I believe it works. I might be wrong, but... well, that's unfortunate. No, I don't generally have any of those. I mainly collect the, like the painted figures and stuff like that. And like I said, I have quite a lot of anime plushies as well. My house is covered in Pokemon plushies as well. Because why not? I have a gigantic Amaterasu from Okami in my living room. I think I'm gonna go for Earth again. I'm kind of interested to see who we match this war. I'm expecting it's probably going to be either GT40 or Mass Titans. Because we've won 8 of the 9 wars we've done this season. We're currently in 3rd overall, I think. But we have been very, very lucky with matchmaking, in which we've literally missed pretty much all of the podium alliances up until this point. So we're now expecting to have to fight a gauntlet of all of them in a row. Like, our goal is top 10. So we're obviously expecting to get rolled over. I'm pretty certain we only have to win one of these next 3 wars to guarantee a top 10 placement. Because yeah, we're currently Master Rank 3. GT40's in 1st. Mass Titans are in 2nd, because I think they lost their last war. So we're currently at 15, pretty much 15-4. Yeah, I think if we win 2 out of 3 of the wars, we're guaranteed top 10. But it's gonna be a very tough gauntlet of fights, because yeah, we've got, I'm pretty certain our next 2 matches are going to be GT40 and Mass Titans. I think the only other one in the top 10 that we haven't fought yet is, I don't think we fought Parade Battle Team yet. Oh, we haven't fought New Nation either, actually. So there's still quite a lot of really tough opponents that we've still got to fight. But we only have to win 1 war this week to guarantee our target of top 10, so that's pretty much what we're aiming for. Obviously, we'll do our best to get as high as we can, but we're mainly just trying to get 1 out of the 3. Yeah, definitely. I will send it to you later, maybe. At the very least, I'll send it by the weekend. I won't forget. Or, sorry, I'll try not to forget. My memory isn't the best, so you might have to remind me, but... yes, we haven't fought LVT either. So we have quite a lot of very, very good alliances still to fight. We've only fought 1 of the general podium alliances this entire season. So we have had it very, very lucky when it's come to matchmaking. So, you know, the position that we hold right now is a little bit lucky. Obviously, I'd love it if we can hit one of the top 3, but we've got some very, very difficult wars ahead of us that stand in the way of that. Hey, we got Earth again. Nice. To be fair, Matt Raya had to actually kind of bring me back to reality earlier on today, because I've been kind of wearing the rose-tinted glasses where I've been just really hoping that we can try and push to try and, you know, have a chance at War Champ, but, you know, he's rightfully kind of said that we still have some extremely difficult wars against pretty much, well, the best alliances in the world, so might need to kind of just roll back my expectations just a little bit. Okay, I'm definitely going to go for Earth again. Earth seems to be the best so far. in terms of risk versus reward, because in the last 10 tries, I think I've gone for Earth on 6 of them, and we've got it on 5 of them. So, honestly, a steady 3k points or whatever it is per one would probably be decent enough to go for. Oh no, I completely appreciate it, Matt. Like I said, I think sometimes I get a little bit too excited and a bit overzealous, and sometimes that can cause my expectations to maybe go a little bit unrealistic. But the main thing I love about Cav is that they're not an alliance that is extremely punishing if you make a mistake. Like, everybody in Cav just loves to have fun, loves to enjoy the game. Obviously, we're a competitive alliance, but there's a limit. And, like, yeah, it's one of the, like, it's not like other alliances that you often see in Tier 1 that force you to make specific rank ups or force you to use specific champions. Like, if you're good with a champion, they will trust you to use that champion to take down a fight. And if you make a mistake, you know, if you die, nobody gets negative. I mean, obviously people get upset. It's just normal, but nobody's made to feel like responsible or, you know. I'm not the only one. That makes me feel better, Matt. That genuinely makes me feel better, because I felt kind of bad when I was, like, trying to amp everybody up, but was unfairly pretty much putting pressure on people, which is not what Cav is about. Like, they're literally the complete opposite to putting pressure on people. But sometimes my brain can get a little laser focused and it forgets about the important things, you know? Okay, can we get the last Earth? No, but that's okay. Also, Matt, since you're here, what champion are you planning on taking a rank 5? Oh, that actually sounds like a lot of fun. Honestly, I really like Rich the Man as a YouTuber. I think he's really, really cool. Plus, he's a Brit. Pretty certain he's a Brit. Is he a Brit? I always thought he was a Brit. I might be wrong. I'm trying to think what other British YouTubers there are on for Marvel Contest of Champions. I know obviously Seaton's British. Pretty certain Cantona's British. I'm trying to think who else there is. I'm probably forgetting someone really important and now I feel stupid, but... You're still a full catalyst away. Is that even after the Colosseum rewards? Because the Colosseum rewards are literally tomorrow. He is a Brit like a... Yeah, okay, cool. I thought he was, but I wasn't 100% certain. I always... Yeah, I figured he was. Okay, let's do another 5 at the start and see what we get. I'm getting close to the final milestone, so once we hit that, I'll pretty much keep going until, like, maybe for about another 20 minutes or so. And then I'll probably stop so I can just open the crystals for the end of stream. And then, like I said, I'll be streaming at about a similar time tomorrow so that I can do the Colosseum, and then I might start some of the victory track with Battlegrounds, depending on how much time we've got. You are exactly the same as me then, Matt, because I'm not spending anything on the Valentine's event, because I don't think the deals are worth the unit cost that they're asking for. Oh, that was horrible. Okay, I'm just gonna class here and just go balls to the wall. Tried to swap out for something special and ended up just getting one of everything. British ones I know of are me, seating Rich Cantona, and one called Calzone. I recognise that name, Calzone. I might have accidentally stumbled into his stream without realising it, but the name, like, it rings a bell, but he's definitely not somebody I'm currently subscribed to. I know KT1 lived in the UK for a little while, but I think he moved back to Latvia or wherever he was from. I might be wrong. I'm pretty certain he lived in the UK at one point, though, but... Cantona's also a really, really good YouTuber, to be honest. I highly, highly recommend Cantona, because his Battlegrounds videos especially help me immensely to build up my deck, and just in general, like, just get better in Battlegrounds overall. Oh, it's Killabeezy from the UK as well. That one I didn't know. As in, I know Killabeezy, but I didn't know he was British. That one, I think I am subscribed to Beezy, actually. But yeah, like, Cantona is definitely somebody who I've learned a lot from as a YouTuber. Like, so obviously the big YouTubers are great, don't get me wrong, respect all of them, but when I come onto YouTube to watch Marvel content, or Marvel Contest of Champions content, you know, I generally look for more showcase kind of things or informational things that I can learn from. So, like, showcases on champions so I can see what they can and can't do. Videos on things on, like, how to improve my own play, how to improve in Battlegrounds, in War. I like to watch War videos a lot, actually. I do really enjoy watching, like, especially War videos where people commentate on what they're doing. I've actually thought about doing similar videos myself soon. Because a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've had a few people message me when I've, like, sent them War videos online and asked me, you know, like, what was my thought process behind it? How did I approach the fight? And I thought about doing videos on that myself if enough people were interested. Because they're videos that wouldn't take a great amount of time to make, but might be nice to get another perspective on War. Especially considering I tend to use a lot more unique champions when it comes to Alliance War. Like, I think the last 4 wars in a row, my team has literally been Sorcerer Supreme, Storm Pyramid X, and Lumitrix. And I've pretty much run them in every single war of this season. But I've definitely used Sorcerer Supreme every single war this war. Storm I've brought mainly as a synergy. But has been used in 1 or 2 fights. The last space in the team is the only one that's kind of changed a bit over the season. Sometimes it's been Tigra, sometimes it's been Lumitrix. I think I brought Spider-Woman on 1 war. I feel like there was somebody else I might have brought as well. But yeah. I've definitely thought about doing War videos on the channel at some point, so I've got a couple of showcase videos that are ready that I might release over the weekend if my brain doesn't get totally distracted. So if you ever hear me say that I'm going to release a video and then I don't end up releasing that video, 9 times out of 10 it's because my brain's become distracted by real life and completely forgot that I was supposed to do it, and then it ends up coming out way later than I originally planned. This video is actually pretty much prepared. I'm just, like, adding little bits to it as the season goes on. But I'm hoping to release it pretty much when the season ends. But whether or not my brain will remember to do so is to be confirmed. I wish my 7-star Iceman was duped. I'd probably consider ranking that. He's another one that's actually quite a nasty Battlegrounds defender. Oh, that was not what I wanted. Do I try and go for another water, or do I try and go for earth? There's no point trying to go for 4 metals or 4 woods. It's either got to be 3 water or 4 earth, and I think there's probably more of a chance of 3 water than there is of 4 earth. Well, 3 water would be a 24 in 180 chance. 4 earth would have been a... Wait, how many is it? Is it 14? I think it's 14, so that'd be 56 in 180 chance. Okay, so technically the earth had more chance, way more chance, but... Oh well, too late now. But yeah, my kind of content on YouTube is that I can learn from or find out more information from. Obviously, the comedy videos are often great, but... If I'd have gone for green, I'd have gotten 3 greens and I'd have gotten like 800 points. That's unfortunate. That is the luck of the draw. To be fair, that's what I get for trying to be greedy. But yeah, I'm hoping I can try and get to the milestones in the last milestone in the next 15 minutes or so that I can open up all of the red envelope crystals for the end of stream. And then I probably won't do any more on this week's one. Obviously, I won't be streaming this weekend because I'm away all weekend, so... The next time I do stream will probably be the following weekend, but we'll see. How many points do I actually need? I think it's like... Oh, okay, so let's go for water. This is actually... That's the first time I've ever started with 3 water. So obviously, I can't get less than 566. So there's literally no reason for me not to go for more water. I think even the odd one out for water is worth more than the 5 metal, if I'm not wrong. I'm against J. Will's favourite champion. Shout out to J. Will and his love of Kang. Alright. Can we get some water? Not yet. Damn, I sucked that. I wonder if this guy's special 2 is actually possible to avoid. Oh, yeah, it is. I had to check. Okay, so yeah, it is. It's just a dex, and then 2 dexes. Who'd have known? Okay. It doesn't look like we're gonna get the water we need, but never mind. I swear, that's one of the main things I love learning in this game, is just learning to dex all the different specials. There are still a few specials, though, that either I haven't learned yet, or are not even possible. And there are some that I can do, just not consistently, like Punisher, OG Punisher Special 2. I have dexed it. I can probably get it about 50% of the time, but that's not reliable, obviously. We didn't get another single water. That's unfortunate. Even one more would have been nice. I might go out after this one just to see how many more points I need to actually... Oh yeah, reverse controls. Whoops. Yeah, just to see how many points I need to get the last milestone. I should have time to get it today. Let's have a look. How many more is it I need to get? I need about 3,500 points. Approximately. Do you know what? I'm gonna go for the woods. Why the heck not? At least on the first one. Let's play a little bit spicy. Plus, Anayen said that he got his first 5 woods when he only started with 1, so... Oh, I thought you were going to evade me then. Oh no, of course, he puts the slow on, doesn't he? Alright, let's see. Do we get any more woods at all? We did. Sure, let's just have a bit of fun here. Let's see if we can even get any more. Not quite. Okay. I got backdrafted by the AI. Love it. Can we get another wood? That would be pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know what I expected. I forgot how painful the slow call is. He hasn't been buffed yet, has he? His buff hasn't gone live yet. Is that next month it goes live? I think. Oh, I wasn't actually expecting that to kill. Yeah, I shouldn't have been cheeky. I should have known that that was going to be a failure. But yeah, I need to kind of hurry up now and try and get some points, because otherwise I'm not going to have time to do the opening. I'm going to need to go to bed reasonably soon, because I've got to be up in the morning for the course. Which is actually why I'm off work tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah. So angry. Alright. Okay, I've learned my lessons. Let's just go for Oh, lovely. I don't have a single poison immune, and I've got to fight Abomination. Keep wanting to say Ibon. Also, I swear that they've purposely put the worst possible champs on each faction. Like, they've put both Tigra and Spider-Ham on the ones that need to light attack when you need to medium attack or heavy attack to do damage with them. Hyperion is a fantastic rank 4. I rank 4'd mine as well earlier this season, and he's been really, really good. Like, kind of similar to this card game, Hyperion is a very potluck champion. Like, if you get bad RNG, he is very slow. But if you get good RNG on those heavy attacks, if you can get like 4 or 5 Furies in the first heavy attack or 2, he is absolutely ridiculous in terms of his speed. Oh, I messed that up. I know that there's 2 light attacks before heavy on Jubilee, but I still forgot. But yeah, Hyperion is a very fun rank 4. Not the most reliable, but definitely fun. Let's use Tiger again. Did you rank him for a reason, or did you rank him because, was it just because you wanted to? Because I technically ranked mine for Alliance War Defense, because he's a tactic attacker, but then actually started to really like him on attack as well. How you doing, Cow Dion? Dion the Cow King. The monster. I mean, I'll take it. Better than nothing. Oh, I can totally understand that, Mike. Totally understand that. I will admit, I'm kind of a bit of the opposite. I don't tend to actually usually like rank RNG champs, just simply because I prefer to know what a champ's gonna do when I try to do it. But you're right. When it works out, it's really, really good. It's like really fun. Oh, okay. Apparently I did that into his block. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's pretty much the same reason I did mine. It was like, okay, so he's tactic, so yeah, I'm happy to rank him, but then once I ranked him up, I was like, oh, actually, he's kind of fun. Yeah, I'm pretty good, thank you, Cow King. Alright, this is the lot. Wow! There you go. Okay, hopefully we can just grab an Earth, and then that'll finish off the milestones, and then we can just open the red envelopes for this week. And then I will see who else is streaming, so we can possibly try and raid out once we open the crystals. And like I said, I'll be back streaming tomorrow anyway, once the Colosseum comes out and when the Battleground starts, so that we can do a few victory track matches as well. You watch, I'm not going to get an Earth now throughout this entire thing. I think if I get an Earth faction reaction now, I'm pretty certain that will finish off the milestones. If not, we'll probably need to do one more. Nice, we got the miss. I love the fact that the beneficial effects actually start before they're technically even rolled. Come on, give me that last one. No! Damn it, Carolina. I guess I'll just use Chioth. Again, another champion that needs to use medium attacks and heavy attacks, But they've put her on the faction that makes you need to use light attacks, which is quite funny. Damn, I got the trauma one 3 times. She's gonna go physical damage crazy. And she's dead. Alright, come on, give me my last Earth. Let me finish this for this week. Oh. Wap, wap, wap. It's fine. It's fine, it just might mean we might have to do one more. Dion, didn't you get a wood faction reaction as well? I swear I saw you get one in the chat. Oh no, that did claim the last milestone. Nice, so we're done. Right, we'll claim that, go open these crystals, and then I'll end stream for today. So, are they in the normal one, or are they in the special one? Oh no, there they are. Oh, I got 152 to open. Let's just auto-open them, and we'll see what comes up. Are these crystals kind of ass? I just realised that. I got a 2-star gold pool, I guess. I should have probably looked at the drop rates before I did this, but... Is this literally just ISO? Oh no, you get some tokens from it as well, and some units. Okay, got 2 gold pools. Oh, I got a 5-star gold pool. It gave you 56k points. Yeah, that's what I would have needed. Hey, I got a 3-star gold pool as well. Is that what you can get? Like a 2 to 6-star gold pool from this? Okay, so these crystals are basically just a bit of fun to get gold pool, then I take it. There we go. So we got 1 5-star gold pool, a crap ton of ISO, 6 of those tokens, which I guess will pay for next week. Got a few units, which is nice. Okay, so those crystals are basically kind of meh. I wish I knew that in advance. But fair enough. Right. I've still got that Colossal. I'm probably going to save that Colossal Titan until the pull after. So, like, I'm probably going to end up saving the Nexus Crystals and the Colossal Titan Nexus Crystal until June. Because, like I said, the only champion out of the 6 that are coming into the crystal in like 20 days, the only one I'm after is Doctor Strange. Like, the other 5 don't really pose any interest to me. I haven't got much to open. I've got a few 7 stars and a few, like, I think it's like 7 or 8 Titans. But, like I said, I didn't really save many because the new pool just doesn't look that great. But anyway, that's going to do it from me. Let's see who else is live right now on my YouTube. Oh, okay, so we've got Max that's live right now. So I'm going to post his stream into the chat for everybody to pop on over afterwards. We're going to put in a Scorpio Raid for those that want to join in. We'll go and say hello to Max, but that's going to do it from me. I'm going to be streaming at a similar time tomorrow, so hopefully I get to see you guys then. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will catch you in the next stream. Bye bye for now.